Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is my second video titled A Little Bit More About Me, and in this video I intend to share with you what led me to art and why I make the art that I make today. So I'd also love to inspire anyone who is an art maker or dabbling in art to maybe get a little more focused and feel a little bit more on track or aligned with their purpose. So my name is Narissa Tudavin again, and I am from New Jersey, United States. And I chose to become an artist because I knew at a young age that it was something that really inspired me, and I truly felt organically connected to the path of an artist. Although I will say I definitely went in and out of my alignment with it because I went through different chapters in my life where I guess I wasn't really connected to the fundamental importance of it. And so there was a period in my early high school years where I don't even know what I was thinking. I was just like, yeah, like I am an artist and I just want to have fun and I like clothes, and I don't know, I guess it was a secondary thought for me at the time. Then I will say, fast forwarding through then connecting with and making the decision to go to art school and pursue art in the United States and go for a BFA. As I moved through that, I then became very regimented with it. And so because I declared it, then I was sort of put under the scope of when you go to college or a really intense program, if that is something that you've done and you just want to do your best and you just want to get those A's and you just want to pass the test. And I became very focused in that and really making actions through that sort of lens process. And so I really loved my art school experience. I will say I really learned a lot. University of the Arts, feel free to pay me for this free advertisement. But I really loved my school, and I feel like it was exactly what I needed to feel, not to feel confident, but to really feel like I was going in the direction that I was meant to go in. And so I completed that. I completed 4 years of an undergrad, and I graduated in 2009. And then, this is the About Me video, so not sure in what direction it's going to go in, but I do have a journal entry and conclusion over here, so I know it will come full circle. Yes. And so I graduated college, and I was very just okay, now I have my degree, it's 2009, I have student loans, I need to get a job. And so then I went down the path of interviewing and connecting with, at the time, recruiters creative job recruiters and groups like that could help me and connect me and align me with jobs. And I became a toy designer. So that was an interesting path for me, because when I graduated, in my mind, I knew that the one thing I wanted to align with was beauty. And so I was very connected to fashion. I was very connected to... I actually wanted to be a cosmetics packaging designer. And I definitely was like really about that. I essentially was in a place where I knew what the end result of the art that I wanted to make looked like. And I will say, I think the in-between steps were like very blurry. But I think that is pretty common and pretty much the case with all college graduates and people in their early 20s. So then I became a toy designer, and I missed a step. Then I graduated, I applied for an internship, and I worked at Nylon Magazine in Manhattan for a fall season and was a graphic design department. Graphic design for Nylon's website designer. And that, I would love to share, was like totally one of those experiences where you expect to be doing so much work and so much like critical things, where you're like making change and you're like creating these new designs and making all these new images and creations, and it wound up being one of those scenarios where you are allotted to do like one thing and communicate and check in with your art directors and your supervisors like multiple times throughout the day, and you sort of really in the end just sort of feel like a filler and, you know, a person taking up space. And so through that experience, I definitely like got my, I want to say got my foot in the door, but like more like got my feet wet to what it was to be a commercial designer. And I think that the biggest lesson I took away from that was sort of like know the steps in between of what you want to do before you do it. But that being said, I also don't want to take away from just like life experiences, and when you feel connected to things, just jumping in. I'd like to talk about like the really awesome things that happened during that period were that I really got to be exposed to designers and avant-garde fashion. I got to attend Fashion Week, like live in person for that fall 2009. Nylon Magazine is a great magazine, and if you're not familiar with it, simply just go to Nylon Magazine or nylonmag.com and check out their content and their articles on there, because they're super like awesome, and the creators really go to the avant-garde and connect with the, you know, lesser known artists, musicians, creators, brands. And through that, I got to learn about lomography, which was a photography style that I was playing with and exploring for a while. I feel like as an artist, it is like really, really helpful to explore other mediums. And even if it's not your medium of choice, or mine is fine art and it's painting and visual art, which it always has been, exploring other mediums really, really, really helps you to see your art in a different way, and it can also simultaneously take off the pressure of your more connected art creation or medium and give you that space to be free and feel a little less regimented. And also, like for me with photography, it was like I got to be more careful and slow and really work with my camera and look at what it was that I was doing and be conscious of the film and all those things. And then of course that spun into like finding the different compositions, seeing what was exciting and actionable and unique, and then really, being able to connect to different narratives and things that I was like experiencing as I was taking out my camera and doing photography. So I definitely learned that through my experience as an intern. And I had an amazing boss. Her name is Kelly Bruce. I know she's doing amazing things right now. She was so motivated. She had multiple businesses while she was an art director at Nylon. And I really got to see firsthand the way that a really focused and persistent woman shows up in the workspace and shows up in the world. So hi, Kelly. After that experience, because I was with a recruiter at the same time, I wound up getting a job offer in New Jersey. And so my first paid job or corporate job was as a toy designer / product designer at a toy design company in New Jersey. So the bulk of my early 20s was the sun is setting here and it's so beautiful, and I'm gonna make a video shortly about Mérida in Mexico and where I am right now. But I'm so happy to be here, and I definitely know that my time as a corporate designer, it was very purposeful and it was very exciting. And I definitely learned a lot. And so my artistic pursuits turned into the direction of content creation. And so at that time, that looked like me working for a specific company, being a toy designer, and then learning within the context of production and commercial design. And so I worked in that job for about 4 years, and I really got to like learn how to like not care as much about my illustrations, and that was 100% because of the deadlines and the literal like deadlines that the art had to be like completed and done and sent to the manufacturers and created into a physical product so that it could be on the shelves for the following year. And so that was a great experience in just being regimented, being a little less attached, and also working within a team dynamic, because that was a huge part of it, and it was really, really exciting. I made a bunch of different toys, a bunch of different products. All of the product was sold at stores in the US. The main stores were Walmart, Target, Michaels, AC Moore, and the products were like very much in the range of like mass market toys. And we did do a lot of the Target dollar spot art and products. So if you're a Target shopper and you're familiar with that little section in the beginning when you first walk in and there's all the cute things, that's what I used to make. So fast forwarding from that stage in my life, I then wound up having a huge life shift, and I wound up being let go from my job and really having to like figure out like what the fuck it was that I was doing, and what was it that was placing me on this journey of being an artist. And so I think I'm gonna cut it there and follow up on my next video. And so on my next video I'll talk about what happened after that and what that transition was like and how I became the painter that I am today. Thank you for watching and have a great day.